Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to mount the Big Shuriken 3 and the Ghost S1. So here I've just got like a setup to show you that it actually doesn't fit using the standard screw. So I just have the Noctua fan instead of the stock fan, but yeah. Okay, so now I've got the side panel on, and as you can see, I just put one screw here. This is to demonstrate that it doesn't fit because of the screws. So if I just pull it in, you'll see that it actually blocks. I don't know if it's focused. Yeah. So you see that the screw actually moves and it doesn't fit. Although it's not screwed in because I have my I drilled the bigger holes in there. It still doesn't fit, and as you can see, the fan actually moves. So if you focus, please, thank you, and you'll see that it actually doesn't fit. My solution for that was to actually screw from the bottom, right? So these screws are not a problem because if I actually remove it and just lay it on top, you'll see that it's actually flush. So my solution was to just mount screwed in from the bottom, and yeah. So for this, you'll need. It's actually very simple, as you can see. You just have to drill bigger holes in the well, in that bracket, whatever it is. And the diameter, I'm not sure which one it is, but it's just the same. One sec. Yeah, so you just have to make bigger holes. I may actually find out which diameter I used for that. Yeah, so basically you would mount these are the screws that you would use to mount that fan from the top. But now, as you can see, it doesn't fit, so you won't be able to use these screws anymore to mount the fan normally. However, what you will be able to use is, one sec, let me find them. So what you'll be able to use are these small screws. And what they so they come in the package with the Noctua fan, and you see at the end here they have like just like it's like similar to a drill bit, which this will basically allow you to mount the fan from the bottom. If you screw it once, you'll see that it's actually kind of broken inside, because it makes the holes on the fan larger, so it actually is able to screw in. And you know, using these will allow you to mount the fan from the bottom. And actually here, you'll see that they actually fit. Basically, they will bend a bit. I mean, at the bracket a bit, but it doesn't matter. I mean, they have enough place here on these two sides. Yeah. Okay, so as you can see here, the diameter of the holes where you mount the bracket to the cooler is actually 4.8 millimeters in diameter. And so here on the screws, well, on the holes that I made bigger, it's the same diameter. So that's the bit you're going to use. And for this I used, oh sorry. And for this I used this machine, which will, you just basically, well, this is not the correct bits right now, but you just put the correct bit inside, and then you just place that bracket, like, I don't know, whatever, like that. If you see it like that, and then you just basically drill the hole. So, but for this you really can use anything really, any drills or yeah. So what I recommend is actually screwing in the cooler without the bracket first, so you'll be able to better mount it later on. So the first thing I did then is actually to screw these small screws that you get with a fan just once to make the holes bigger, because then you'll have some plastic that you'll have to some excess plastic um, that you'll have to remove. Um, so they'll screw in easier, whatever, doesn't matter. Yeah, so then you just mount it. Make sure you get the correct position so that bracket, the logo, basically that's the way I orient myself. Needs to be on top, so it's like that, right? And so I wanted to have the cable on the bottom, so make sure you mount it correctly. And so then that would be like that. Another thing is to actually be careful when mounting the fan to the brackets, because when you have the side panel, if you mount the fan kind of incorrectly, it will actually touch with the side here of the side panel, well, the board or whatever. So what I did is to actually mount, is to try at least to mount the bracket. Hold up. Okay, so I finally oriented myself. So yeah, so you have the bracket here. I just put it on the power supply real quick, and you basically want to mount it a bit to the side as far as you can, just like that. Maybe that's enough already. While screwing it in, try to push it on this side, and so that will avoid any contact when you mount the side panel. Yeah, the rest of the procedure is actually quite easy. Just mount the fan from the bottom. You have the screw holes here. And yeah, that's really it, and the hardest part is of course to mount that combo onto the cooler, because if you have these three fins here that are not actually soldered to the heat pipes, so you'll have to manually kind of put them in. That's actually super annoying. So you'll have to somehow do that and then hold the whole thing together while screwing it in. It's actually pretty hard. So I recommend removing the bottom and the top, whatever the grill is here, so you can access easily the screws. And yeah. Okay, so that's what the bracket looks like with the fan mounted to it. I tried my best to actually push it to the side, which I think I'm gonna have to redo that, because actually it's fine. You can see here that it's a bit to the side. I guess that's enough. It really doesn't matter. But what's actually difficult, again, like I said before, it's the mounting of that to the cooler, because first off, these two, well, the bracket might be actually compressed a bit. So that means, well, let me try that. So when you actually mount it, um, it might be a bit too tight. So you might actually bend some fins. That's why be careful. And you can see actually here it doesn't fit. So I might have to like actually bend a bit like outwards so that it fits. Or what you can do as well is to completely remove that cooler and then remove these two screws so that you can bend the bracket outwards, and then you can mount it to the cooler, and then you can rescrew these two screws, since you have access to them while the bracket is mounted to the cooler. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I just mounted it. So first off, these fins, it's really bullshit. I don't know why they're not soldered. It doesn't matter. Like I said before, I removed these two screws, so I'm able to like control I can move these, and so I'm able to basically install the bracket without bending any fins. Well, at least minimally here I bent one, whatever. It helps. The two screws here are still fixed while screwed in, and then in the end I can just screw both of these in. And then that's done. Mounting the cooler to the motherboard is actually quite simple. You have these two screws here, and they're very easily accessible, even with an Octave fan. So yeah, that's what the end result should look like, and it actually fits, as you can see. I mean, it's like, you know, very minimal space left, but the point is that it actually does fit without any frictions. I don't know if I can. Wow, the picture quality is really bad, but it doesn't look like it touches this time. I don't know. I can't see it. I'm too lazy to remove the bottom grill here. So, anyways, that's the way you do it. And yeah, thank you for watching.